Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Ashes to Rubies show.
Nice hoodie. Look at that hoodie you're repping.
Repping the hoodie. Laundry day yesterday. Oh, it's amazing how many clothes I can get dirty, even though I hardly do anything.
Yeah. Well, if you cook in them, or and your dog sheds like crazy, like
Oh
that's
my
like
goodness.
a constant thing.
I know. I so I have to roll my clothes when they come out of the dryer to still get
Wow.
dog fur off them. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Did
Bug life.
you enjoy the outdoors yesterday and the sunshine?
Yes.
Me too. I went for
What did you do?
I went for 2 walks.
Nice. With
Yeah.
whom?
Myself, phone calls. So I went at like 11 and then I went again at 1.
Nice.
It was nice. And we sat outside and had coffee.
Nice.
Hmm.
Good. I love that feeling of spring. I'm a big fan of like all seasons because I feel like every time that there's something new, it's exciting. Like winter's so nice when you have that first snowfall and you're like, oh, it's so pretty. I love this so much. And then you're like, I'm sick of this. And then and then spring happens and you're like, oh, I'm so happy spring is here. And then summer happens. Anyway, I
It's
actually
so
really,
true.
I love it all.
Change, I think, really can bring out gratitude.
Hmm.
I
What
think
a
that's
beautiful quote, Vicky.
change can bring out. I made that up by myself.
Very good.
I think. At least I've never said it before or heard it as far as I know. So today's reading from the language of letting go
Hmm.
is on patience.
Awesome.
I'm so patient. I just don't even feel like I need to read this. Just kidding.
Okay.
How sick and tired we may become of people telling us to be patient or to learn patience. How frustrating it can be to want to finally have something or to move forward and then not have that happen. How irritating to have someone tell us to wait while our needs have not been met and we're in the midst of anxiety, frustration, and inaction. Do not confuse the suggestion to be patient with the old rule about not having feelings. Being patient does not mean that we go through the sometimes grueling process of life and recovery without having feelings. Feel the frustration, feel the impatience, get angry as you need to about not having your needs met, and feel your fear. Controlling our feelings will not control the process. We find patience by surrendering to our feelings. Patience cannot be forced. It is a gift, one that closely follows acceptance and gratitude. When we work through our feelings to fully accept who we are and what we have, we will be ready to be and have more. Today, I will let myself have my feelings while I practice patience.
Mm.
Hmm.
Feelings, feelings, feelings. I didn't expect that. Like I was like, oh, patience, but then they talked about feelings. Um, well, I feel about my feelings.
How do you feel about your feelings, Joanne?
Well, I got a lot of them. I think it's so funny because I feel like a lot of feelings are not unfamiliar to me, but like knowing what to do with them and sitting them in them is unfamiliar to me.
Right.
Like I feel that I was a child that and a teenager and an adult currently that like has a lot of feelings going on and I don't know how to sort through them. It's kind of like if I were to liken it to like a room that's full of clutter, like I've been a hoarder of all my feelings and it's like they're everywhere. Like and they're not sorted. They don't have nice boxes. Like they're really really all over the place. And it's like I think maybe it would be if I could yeah, I think that it's almost like I have to go into the room and start to like look at them and maybe sit with them and figure out where do you belong? And how do I, and not in a
That's a
controlled
good
way.
analogy.
Yeah.
That's a great
Not
analogy.
well, I decluttered last night. But like I love that line. Controlling our feelings will not control the process. So I think that it's so hard to know what to do with them. So it's like either I control them or I do nothing with them. I think.
Well, the other people in my house do not want to bump into or trip over my feelings.
Mhm.
Like if they're unpleasant or negative, like,
But
and
why?
well, and that's the hard part for me to process too, of like, okay, where have I like inappropriately expressed or dealt with difficult, negative, unpleasant emotions? And then like, like, because I can't just not. And so then what am I supposed to do with it? You're like, how, like, how do I find that line between like stuffing my feelings and then, but not trying to like, not subjecting other people to,
Mm.
to like what's going on inside me or
Mhm.
all around me, because it doesn't just stay inside me. John can walk in a room and he can tell if I'm not okay. So,
Yeah.
but does that mean that I can never be okay? Right? Like, I don't think it means that I can never be okay. I just, what do I do with that?
Mhm.
So it is a
Mhm.
bit, and I think tying it in with patience is interesting, because I feel like lately I just need to be patient for all of this to sort out,
Mm.
right? Like I'm doing the work, I'm giving it to God every day, giving my life, it being my life, giving my life to God every day, giving my decisions and my emotions and my thought processes to God every morning and other times throughout the day. And I might, I do mess up again,
Mhm.
try to take back the reins, but I can be patient that like it will sort it out. And so every little, not every little, but if I do have an off day or go back into old patterns,
Mhm.
I can like just give that back to God and, like say, oh yeah, this is what's going on, and then move forward.
I think that like, yeah, that's good. I can understand that. And I feel like on my what's been hard, um what? Sorry, I just okay. Um I one of the things that um with patience, I think, especially as I've entered into recovery, as I'm patient with things, and as I enter recovery, I find that, like, we've talked about this before, but like, you slow down a little bit. And I think in that slowing down, in that patiently waiting through this recovery process, like when you just remove those like distractions and you start to like look at like outside cues and like dealing with that and whatever, like it really brings out a lot of emotion. That's what I found anyway. Like I have found a lot of one of my top emotions for everyone's pleasure is anger. Like I am so like with the pandemic perhaps and being like, this is so frustrating. Like this is like going on a year now and it's like impeding on my life and I'm over it. And or there's so many things to be angry about. And I realize like it's just I'm sitting in the anger of so much stuff that I've never dealt with or looked at. So like my goodness, one of my like oh man, there's a place up in Westport that you and I have both been to, and they have an angry barrel where you can have a stick and you can hit the crap out of this angry barrel. And I'm like, I wish I had one of those. And like, I probably wouldn't do it in my backyard because I live in the city, and that would be like so appalling to my neighbors or anyone walking by. Like, I wish, but
If anyone needs any wood chopped, just give
yeah,
Joanne a call.
I don't know. I'd probably injure myself. I've never really used an axe before, to be honest. But I feel one of my tactics that I've started using is like yelling in a pillow. Like it works. Like, and then my voice hurts after. But like sometimes, like seriously, like to get ugly, it's like sometimes I don't know what else to do. It's like do that or take it out on someone, and I don't want to. So I think that's a part of the recovery thing is like these emotions, these feelings are coming. Like they will come. We're human.
Mhm,
What do you do with them?
mhm,
And
mhm,
so yeah, how do you sit in them? And that's scary. I don't know.
mhm,
I just find
mhm,
again unfamiliar territory.
mhm,
Mhm.
mhm. Yeah, and I think it talks a lot here about in this reading about not having our needs met.
Mm.
And I think that, in early recovery, especially, we don't even necessarily know what our needs are and
Yeah.
probably haven't been effective at expressing them or meeting our own needs. And, it can kind of be one or the other, right? Some of us can be super demanding that other people meet our needs, and then others
Mhm.
of us are like super just completely even unaware of what our needs are. And so I like this idea of patience, but we've done other readings that talk about like getting out of denial. And so as we work through this recovery process, now we're like more aware, but we still need to like really practice this concept of patience and like, you
Mm.
know, waiting, understanding, beginning to understand ourselves, but still, walking through this um, process of like God transforming us,
Mhm.
and just being patient and trusting that He's going to finish the work that He started. I think is a good reminder for me every single day.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, I
So
think that patient, it's our, I don't know, how are we doing for time?
yeah,
Director?
we're almost done. Give us your closing thought on that.
My closing thought. Um, I don't know. I think
What were you
it's
going to say?
it's hard to be patient, but I think if you give into the process, it can be really beautiful and trust it. I don't know.
I know.
I have a knock knock joke that I taught my kid this morning, if you want to hear that one.
What's your knock knock joke?
It's really basic. You know it. Okay, you ready?
Ready?
Wait, who starts it? I always forget.
You have
Oh,
to.
okay. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Boo.
Boo hoo!
Don't cry. It's only a joke. And it's so funny because Henry, my son, will be like, please don't cry. It's just a joke. So I'm trying to get him to start telling jokes at school for fun, break the ice.
That's a great joke to close our little chat about feelings.
Don't cry. It's just a joke.
It's okay to cry. Just don't throw daggers at your family when you're sad.
Maybe you can give Henry the expounded version of that joke then.
I feel like that's not a kindergarten concept. So.
No.
Have a great day. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow.
Sounds good. Thanks everyone for popping in and listening and being here and patiently walking through each Devo with us. Bye.